nice to see so many of you turn out, and those that came in the rain, just to let you know it's sunny now. It never amazes me when people start things up with the volunteers that it runs so successfully. And I think it's because the volunteers put so much time and effort into it that these things do run successfully. So I'm not going to make a big speech. I'd just like to thank the volunteers for all they're doing with the food bank. Wish you every success in the food chain, and hope everybody here, and well, I know you do, and all the rest of the people will support it. So thank you very much.
On behalf of Churches Together, I just wanted to say a few words about this whole project and the way it works. I just want to start with a little reading from the Acts of the Apostles, one of my favourite passages in the whole of the Bible, because it's so positive and promising. They were devoting themselves to the Apostles' teaching, to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Reverential awe came over everyone, and many wonders and miraculous signs came about by the apostles. All who believed were together and held everything in common, and they began selling their property and possessions and distributing the proceeds to everyone as anyone had need. Every day they continued to gather together by common consent in the temple courts, breaking bread from house to house, sharing their food with glad and humble hearts, praising God and having the goodwill of all people. And the Lord was adding to their number every day those who were being saved. A lovely picture of the church together and doing good things in the community there from the very beginning. There's been 2,000 years of history since then, and not all of it's been good. But here we have an example of what can happen when the people in the church have got together and involve the whole community and continue to involve the whole community for the good of those in need. Hopefully those in temporary need, because if they're helped sufficiently, then their need will abate and they can move on to someone else with another problem. And it's all really down to Nicola's enthusiasm to get this going. When she first came to a Churches Together forum and said she thought this would be a good thing to do in Stamford, people kind of shuffle their feet as they always do when somebody comes up with, wouldn't it be a good idea if, because well, you know, what a good idea if we can do it. And I said, well, the thing is, what we need is an enthusiast to make it all work. And Nicola sort of presented herself as that enthusiast, and here she is. And it works, you see, she's not had to do all the work herself, though I have to say, she's done a heck of a lot, and we wouldn't be here now without that. And others will tell you about how the whole thing works. If you've been to as many meetings as I have about it, you've fed up with it. But some of you aren't ability yet, so that will happen. And this really is a wonderful occasion, because it's not just the church, it's that the church is out as the catalyst to get this together and to make it work. But it's for the whole community, and the whole thing is about local people helping other local people in their moment of need. And really, we can just leave the thing there. So that's where I should leave you. That was really 10 minutes. It's probably more than adequate. And I'm sure that others have got a lot more worthwhile things to say than that. So thank you all very much for coming, and thank you to the council for hosting us and for showing the degree of support they have. If you look at the Foodbank's website, you'll see there's no end of organisations and people who give support to this in many different ways, and very grateful to what they've done, because the churches couldn't do it alone. Thank you all very much.
Greetings from the Trussell Trust and the Foodbank network. Grantham, who I'm representing today, was the 84th Foodbank, and we have just reached, on just last week, our first birthday. And we want to say welcome to Stamford, to this wondrous project. The project itself fed 126,000 people across the country last year. I said, I think you are around about the 200th food bank, so that's 130 extra food banks added to the project in just over a year. We are looking to doubling that figure of the amount of people that we are going to support over this year, and the plans for the next 5 years will hopefully mean there will be a food bank in every town, every city across the country, providing the much needed support for people that find themselves at that point of crisis. Story from Grantham so far: we are now a year old. We now have 130 volunteers working with us, and I have 10 more who I am starting to do the vetting procedure on at the moment. We have had over 12 tonnes of food come in through our little doors. The stories of generosity are absolutely immense. I'll tell you one. A gentleman, as we were doing a supermarket collection at Asda, just walked in with a trolley and came back with a trolley full of food and a little bag on the back. I went to grab hold of the little bag to say thank you very much, and he said, "No, that's mine. This is yours." Another story: a gentleman came up to us with a big whiskey bottle, and I said, "I'm sorry, but we don't accept alcohol." We opened the top, and it's full of coins. There was over £700 of money within this when we counted it up. We talked to the supermarket, and we managed to turn that into £1,400 worth of food. These are just some of the generosity things. This is about igniting compassion across your town, and God is at the centre of that. I see this project as part of the story of Ruth. You know, all that Ruth is told, the landowner leaves more, tells people to leave more on the ground, and then Ruth is told to start to pick it up. And that's what you started to do. You started to pick it up, and then you'll take it to the threshing floors, and you'll turn it into something wholesome. We have, I said, the first year is just gone. We have supported 1,157 families in that period of time. That is 10,417 meals provided for the people of Grantham. That's a target for you to aim for. I've brought a little gift for you. This is a year's worth of documentation. You have 200 food banks to dip into. Please dip into them. That's where you will get your ideas and your fundraising support from. And there are some phenomenal ideas out there. This is a year's worth of documentation that we have created on top of the Social Trust. I hope you can take this, add your own logos to it, grab your ideas, and I hope it will help you move a little bit faster. Blessings. I drove into Stamford only half an hour ago, and I saw in that big storm that you just had, and there was a rainbow over the top of Stamford. And as you know, that is a sign of God's blessing.
Foodbank. It's been a long time since we went up and met Brian up at Grantham. David, who is one of David Oxtoby, who's here at St George's, who also is at Christchurch, he is one of our original group, and he very much sends his apologies. He cannot be with us tonight, but he has a family commitment. that keeps them from being here. But it's just over a year ago that I was in St George's Church saying, you know, I was looking for something to do that was connected with the church. It was a dangerous place, it was a dangerous conversation, because he said to me, well, how about setting up a food bank? And I said, what's that, in my innocence? And he said, why don't you just help give people to give food to poor people? And I said, no, I don't want to do that, sounds really boring. Which were my exact words, and sadly, I think I'm being paid back for that, because I would love to have been bored over the last few months. I'm looking forward to maybe being bored again one day, but certainly not much I've had recently. So I did say no, I was not in the slightest bit interested. But David wanted someone to go to Brian's launch, and so he said, well, being persistent, wouldn't you just look at the email for me? Saying, you know, being a good girl, I don't care if I really must. And I was very much, I really did not want to have anything to do with it. Wasn't interested at all. So he actually then and there on the spot, you know, sent it, you know, your email address, I had it here in my phone. There it is, you got it. You know, it doesn't waste a minute. So I went home and had a look at it. And I want to show you a DVD now that gives you an idea of some of the things that I actually saw. But, and thank you most of all for your support, because all of you here have supported one way or another. So thank you.